Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we've got one for the beginners. I'm going to show you how to export data to Excel from Microsoft Access while still maintaining your formatting, like your blue backgrounds and your date formats and whatever else you want. Today's question comes from Sarah in Amarillo, Texas, one of my platinum members. Sarah says, I'm in charge of keeping track of all the product data for the company, but I'm the only one with Access and everyone else refuses to use Access. Yeah, I get it. I run into that a lot. They all have Excel. So is there an easy way for me to export a spreadsheet that they can all view and maybe even make changes to, and then I can import that back into Access when I need to? It would also be nice if I could keep my formatting, colors, date formats, etc. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple different methods. First, we're going to export some simple table data. Then I'll show you how to do it with a query with a few more options. And then I'll show you how to do it with your formatting intact. Okay, today's video is for beginners, but if you have not yet watched my free Access Beginner 1 class, go watch this first so you understand all the basics of how databases in Access work. And also go watch this free video. It's on continuous forms. A continuous form is where you got multiple records on the form at the same time instead of just a single form where you have one record at a time. We're going to be using one of these today. These are all free. They're on my website. They're on my YouTube channel. Go to this link here. You'll find a link you can click on down below or scan the little QR code there if you want to with your phone. Okay, here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download a copy off my website if you want to. You'll find a link down below. And in this database, I've got a customer table. Let's go ahead and export this customer table to Excel. With the table open, I'm going to come up here and click on external data. And if you don't know what I just did there, you can double click on these tabs up top here and that will collapse the ribbon, right? If you want it nice and small, which I sometimes do when recording my videos because this ribbon is pretty big and it saves me some space, right? I got a small window here. All right, once you're on external data, click on Excel in the export group right there. You're going to give it a file. It's going to default to something in your documents folder, right? This one's customer t.xlsx. That's the default file extension for Excel workbooks in 2023 or after 2007, really. You can change the format here if you want to, but I don't recommend it. Now you'll see an option here that says export the data with formatting and layout. Yeah, we'll talk about this more in a second. You really can't do much formatting and layout with a table. And we'll go over this more in a bit. So don't check this box if you're exporting a table or a query, because there's really no formatting worth speaking of. All right, I'm going to hit OK. It's going to export. Now, you can optionally save the export steps. Personally, I generally don't bother with this option because, as you just saw, when we do it like this from a table, there's really only a couple of clicks anyways. So there's not much to really save. So hit close. And if I open up my documents folder using my file explorer here, you can see right there is my customer t.xlsx. You can double click on it and open it right there. And it should open right up in Excel. And there it is. Pretty simple, straightforward. That's the basics of it. Okay? So if you want to just export all of the records from a table, do it that way. Now, let's close this. Don't save it. Don't bother. All right, close this. Let's close this guy down. Now, if you want to query the data first, okay, if you want to limit the records that you're exporting, for example, you can make a query. So create, query design. Let's say I want to bring in my customer information. And this is also handy if you want to link some additional data to it, right? Like if you have related tables, you can bring in their contacts or their orders or whatever. So you can do that in a query. I'm going to skip that for now. We're just going to keep this simple. But let's say you're going to be exporting the data, but you only want to export certain fields. Maybe you don't want everybody seeing some sensitive data that's in this table, right? You want the customer ID, the first name, last name, email, maybe their phone number, but you don't want them seeing all things like credit limit and all that stuff. So you just bring in the fields that you want down here, okay? You can do a custom sort. So let's bring last name over in front. Come here. Let's bring last name over in front of first name. And we'll sort by last name and then first name. And let's say we want to limit it to only people from Florida. So I'll put criteria, Florida, and I cover all this stuff in my beginner class, folks. All right. Save this. Let's call this customer FLQ. Customers from Florida, right? There's my query. And I can run it. And once you got the data in here that you want, guess what? External data, Excel. All right, same stuff here. Hit OK. Hit close. And there's my customer FLQ.XLSX. And here it comes. There it is. And you can resize this and double click and do whatever you want here, make it look pretty. Now, if this is something that you export on a regular basis, then you might want to set the formatting and stuff ahead of time so you just export it in one shot and it keeps all your formatting. To do that, I strongly recommend using a continuous form. Okay, and that's why I wanted you to watch that other video. Now, I already have a continuous form built. It's called my customer list. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. If you don't know how to build one of these, go watch that continuous forms video. Okay, but you can do the same thing. Now, the nice thing about doing it with a form, one of the nice things, is that you can go to design view. You can set your colors in here. Okay, let's say you want the state to be that. Okay. All right, you can make sure all your fields are justified the order you want. Right, save this. Open it back up again. You can sort this data. So let's say you want to sort by last name. Okay. Let's say you want to filter it to see only people from New York, right? Right click equals New York. Okay. Now I want to export this. So external data, Excel. All right. It's going to be customer list F, Excel workbook. Now down here, notice this option is available now. It says open the destination file after the export operation is complete. You can only do this when you export formatted data. Why formatted data? I don't know. You can't do it if you don't have a formatted table. It's weird. It's weird. But now you can check this box on, and then instead of having to hunt for that file, hit OK. And it already exists because I was playing around with it earlier. You do want to replace the file, say yes. It'll just make a new one. And there you go. Look at that. Now, one thing to note, you mentioned specifically your date formats. Look at this. This is the default Excel date format, right? The short date format. Whereas over here in Access, I've got the ISO date format, which I recommend everyone use ISO. If you don't know what ISO dates are, it's that year, month, day. Okay, the whole world should use this. I'm on a mission. I'm on a quest. I want to get everyone using this. Okay, watch this video if you want to learn more about it. But I don't have any format set in here. It's just using my default short date. All right, let's see what I got. I think I have it set to blank, in fact. Yeah, format is nothing in there. So you want to specify a format. Okay, so I'll put short date in there, and it should export it now in exactly whatever format you specified instead of that Excel format. All right, so external data, Excel. Click that button, box, whatever. And come here. Yep, there we go. See, now we're formatted like that. Okay. And you could do whatever filtering and changing you want. If you don't want null values in here, right? Right click, does not equal blank. Sort by state and then export it. There you go. See, nice and pretty. You keep your colors, you keep your formatting. Now, could you give this to someone else and have them make changes? Could they come in here and change Tasha Yar to Tasha Bye-Bye or whatever? Okay. And then give this back to you and you could import this? Yeah, you could. You could. I have a whole separate video on importing data into Access from different formats, including Excel or text. What I would recommend is that you import the data into a temporary table, okay? Then you can join them together based on the customer ID, since you have the customer ID in your export. And then you can look for any records that have changes and run an update query to make the changes, right? I have another video on that, on update queries. So that's pretty much it. That's what I recommend you do if you want to export Excel data or export data to Excel and have it look all pretty, right? And have it so you get, you can control the fields, you can control the colors, the layout, the formatting, all that stuff. And yes, honestly, I would leave these. There is a way you can change this data up here, but I would leave this because that's the exact field name when you want to import that back into Access. Leave this alone. Tell people not to change that. In fact, you could protect the sheet. After you export it, you can come in here and turn cell protection on so they can't modify this stuff, right? Or any other fields you don't want them to change, like the credit limit. You can protect this row, okay? A lot of people don't know this about me, but I also have a bunch of Excel lessons too. Access is my forte by far, but I also have a bunch of Excel stuff. And I'm also a published Excel author. But in my Excel Expert Level 8 class, I cover Worksheet Protection, where you can lock cells. Right, we do a couple things like a bank loan calculator, and let's say you want to let your customer, put their loan information in. You want to lock the payment field, right? You let them type in the blue fields here, right? The amount of the loan, the number of years they want, their interest rate. Although you probably want to lock that too, because you're telling them what the interest rate is, and then everything else on here is locked. So we cover Worksheet Protection, and again, that's Excel Expert Level 8. I'll put a link to that down below. But you can come in here and lock all this stuff when you export it. Give it to your whoever, right? And then when they send it back to you, you can import this data, resting assured that they haven't changed anything you don't want them to change, like the customer ID, right? You don't come back with a customer ID that's cow. That's one of the problems with Excel is you can pretty much do whatever you want in here, unless you are vigilant about putting protection in the sheet. I also cover a lot more with exporting to Excel and Word and mail merge and a bunch of other things in my Access Expert Level 19 class, if you want to learn more about this stuff. I'll put links to all this stuff down below. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. You can do some basic formatting in tables. I don't recommend it. Right? You can set a background color. Like for example, if you come over here into text formatting, right, you put a background color on like that. You can't do individual fields. If you change it again, you're getting that for the whole thing. This box over here does let you do alternate row color like this, but again, why? I mean, yeah, okay, fine. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan, so I leave those off. Tables are for data entry, not even for data entry. Tables are for storing your data, and you, the developer, can come in here and modify stuff if you want to, but you don't want your end users working directly with tables. It's a no-no. Right? So I try to keep people out of tables as much as possible. I don't even use tables in my own database. I make forms to do all the interaction. Now, tomorrow, for you developer level users who stuck around through all this when you didn't have to, this is some news for you. Tomorrow's video is going to be automating an export to Excel with one click. We're going to make a button where we're going to automate that export, and it's just going to create the spreadsheet and then give you a beep and say, I'm done. We're going to use well, I'm not going to tell you what command we're going to use, but it's going to be a surprise. Because there's one command that everyone thinks you should use, and that's not the one you should use. It's a different one, and you'll find out tomorrow which one I want you to use. And when I say tomorrow, today is Wednesday, September 6th, 2023. That's when I'm recording the video. This video is going to post on YouTube on Thursday the 7th. So Friday the 8th is when this video, the automated export, will be out. So tune in tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel, and I'll teach you how to automate this whole process. It requires a little bit of VBA code, little developer stuff. All right, so that's going to do it for today. That's how to export to Excel for you beginners. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.